Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for this all levels water element themed flow. So today we'll be moving through the whole body, connecting to the water element and the energy of the kind of hips and sacral area, the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana. So looking at those two elements combined as we move through and connecting connecting with this sense of kind of flowing with fluidity like water. But as always, taking options throughout, taking what you need from the class and really leaving anything that's not for you today, so that this practice can really leave you feeling nicely reconnected, stretched, strengthened, and a sense of hopefully kind of rebalancing and connecting with that energy. So we will start the practice by coming into a seated position. I want you to take the hands to either the knees or the thighs. We'll close down the eyes or take a steady gaze. And we'll start with noticing the lower back and the hips. See if you can imagine, with your power of your intention, your awareness, just scanning into those parts of your body. See what you can become aware of. What's alive in those areas? Is there anything that you can notice or feel? Maybe it's simply where are the sit bones connected to the ground? How does it feel to be cross-legged or in the position that you're in, seated? Allowing the shoulders to soften and the face, the jaw, settling into this space that you're in, and the space around you. Noticing the silent presence of everything that you're surrounded by. Observing how you're feeling today. And that element, Svadhisthana, that energy of the hips, sacral chakra, this is really linked in with the water element and your emotions, your creativity, your flow. Whether you're able to sometimes be flexible and flow with life. So sometimes flowing can open doors that force cannot open. Find your breath. Perhaps imagining the breath like the tides of the sea or the waves coming in and then going out. Drawing in and out again. We'll start to open the eyes when you're ready. Take a couple of shoulder rolls, notice the shoulder blades and that whole area and how it's feeling. And then let the shoulder blades really run down your back. And we'll inhale, reach the fingertips up as if you're gathering something up with the hands, and exhale, float the hands through to heart center. So 2 more of these. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come through to the heart. And 1 more. Inhale, reach up like you're floating your hands through water, and exhale back through to your heart center. From here, we'll bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees drop out to the side so you're in Baddha Konasana. Inhale, take a big shoulder roll, and exhale, fold forwards. Could be really subtle. Try and keep the spine long to start with. As you inhale, find some space and lift through the chest, and as you exhale, soften into your fold. And again, inhale, lifting, finding space, exhale, softening. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, softening. On your next inhale, lift the chest, come back up. You might like to see how it feels to bring the feet a little bit further away from you this time, so creating more of a diamond shape with the legs. We'll inhale here, and as you exhale, you can let the spine round, thinking about the forehead coming towards the feet. An option to have your palms of your hands facing upwards here. Let the head drop down. Imagine as the palms face up, it's like a gesture of receiving new energy. What do you need? What do you want to bring in? Can you feel any sensations in the hands or the arms, the fingers? What can you notice? What's there? One more breath here. And then peeling yourself back up, draw the knees in together. And we'll roll into a tabletop position, or roll, find your way there. Doesn't matter how you get there. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, walk the hands out in front and find your puppy pose, Anamahasana. So melting the heart down towards the ground. See if you can come onto the fingertips here. Or you could use blocks to support. And as you inhale, lifting. And exhale, a sense of melting back down towards the ground. So as we inhale, we lift, we create space. And as we exhale, we soften. So find your flow with your breath. Imagine your breath moving like water. Moving inwards and outwards. One more of these. And then walk the hands back in so you're in all fours. Option to take the hands to blocks now, or you're going to keep them on the mat. If you bring them to blocks, this could create some more space here for you, so seeing what feels right. And then we're going to draw this right knee in and hook the right knee over the left leg. So hooking it completely over, and the feet might like to open out to the side. And then we're going to sit the hips down towards the mat. And either you could be working here with hands on blocks or on the ground, or you could take the blocks under the hips, or we're sliding back and finding this Gomukhasana position with the legs. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Let the left hand come down your back. And either the right hand could find the left elbow, or it's going to come around the back of the body, and maybe the fingertips meet, or maybe your hands could both be grabbing onto a strap here. Imagine the crown of your head lifting upwards. Either staying here, or option to find a fold. Imagine hinging from the hips as you fold forwards. Again, this might not be where you've come to with this pose. So really honouring where you are, flowing over forcing. That's what the water element is all about. Start to unravel the arms, bring them back down to the ground or blocks. Ease your way back to all fours and unhook the right leg. Take an inhale and exhale here. And then hook the left leg over. Find your positioning for the pose. Use blocks, use props to support where you need to. Feet open out to the side and then start to come back. Maybe you slide into this Gomukhasana position. Equally, maybe you don't. Inhale, fingertips reach up. This time, right hand's coming down your back. Left hand comes to the elbow, or it comes out behind. Maybe the fingertips start to meet. Breathing here. Start with imagining the crown of your head lifting upwards, and then as you exhale, maybe adding in a fold. Maybe you're thinking that is not what you need today, and that is okay. Honor what you need in your practice, or what you need on any given day. It's going to be different. It probably should be different. Starting to release if you've taken the fold, release the hands if you'd had them in the bind, and then bring them down to the blocks or the ground and come back to all fours. Unravel the left leg. Exhale, slide your hips down towards your child's pose. Option here to open the knees out wide and then sit the hips down so you're in a juicy wide leg child's pose. See how it feels to really reach or walk your fingertips out a little bit more here, finding that stretch and opening maybe down into the outside of the arms, the shoulders, the lats. Close the eyes or soften the gaze. As you inhale, imagine drawing breath or energy into the back of the body, into the hips, the lower back. And as you exhale, empty out anything that you're ready to release. So on your next inhale, imagine drawing in the breath, more energy. And as you exhale, letting go, softening to the ground. On your next inhale, start to come away from child's pose. Bring your knees back so they're roughly hip width apart. Tuck the toes under and we'll exhale back to a downward facing dog. Take any movements you want to take, or equally you could be in stillness. Could be a pedal out through the feet and the legs. Feel into what feels right, what feels good for you. On your next inhale, look between the hands and step or float the feet in. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. And exhale, bring the hands through to heart center. From here, as you exhale, sit the hips back, find an Utkatasana position. Feet could be coming in a bit closer together. And we'll inhale, reach the arms up by the ears. And on the exhale, fold forwards, float the arms back. Inhale, lift the chest, reach up. Exhale, float back. This time, inhale, reach the arms by the ears. Reach the arms up by the ears and then bring the hands through to heart center and ground into your right leg and see if you can step that left foot back and find a lunge. No worries if you've added in a couple of extra steps there. That's all okay. So float, coming back to that sense of floating like water here. We're going to inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, drop the chest, reach back. One more, inhale, floating up. Exhale, drop the chest, float back. Inhale, reach up. And this time bring the weight into your front leg, lift the back leg, sweep the fingertips back, find this version of Warrior 3. Seeing maybe if there's any movement you could take with the arms, imagining floating the arms through water, adding in a little bit of challenge to the balance. Just having a bit of a play, bit of fun with it. And then from here, we're going to step the left leg back. Toes are at a slight angle and hips shine forwards. Inhale, create space. Exhale, fold forwards, find pyramid pose. Hands could be finding the ground or blocks as an option. Maybe the forehead's coming towards the right shin, but it doesn't have to. Keep thinking about this right hip tucking in and drawing back. Use the connection of your feet in the ground to stabilize. Inhale, start to lift the chest. Bring the hands down to meet the ground. Take a big step back, find a plank position and flow through your version of Chaturanga. So on the inhale, finding an upward dog or could be a cobra. And then on your exhale, make your way back to a downward facing dog. Well done. Take a moment to breathe here. Look between the hands on your inhale and step or float the feet in. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up. And exhale, hands come through to heart center. Inhale here, you might like to step the feet closer in, and as you exhale, find Utkatasana. Arms come out by the ears or out in front. Inhale, exhale, drop the chest, sweep the arms back like you're floating through water. Inhale, lift the chest, reach the arms up. One more, exhale, drop the chest, float back. Inhale, reach the arms back up and then bring them into heart center. Ground into your left foot. Can you step the right leg back to a lunge? No worries if you added in a couple of extra steps there. Inhale, fingertips reach up. We'll take a couple of floats here. So as you exhale, drop the chest, reach back. Inhale, reaching back up. And exhale, dropping down. Inhale, reaching back up. Then ground into your front foot and start to lift that back leg and float the fingertips back. Taking any adaptation or version of Warrior 3. So hands could be finding blocks. If you want to add in a bit of spice, you can see how it feels to float the arms around. Take some movement in the arms. You might have a wall in the way as I do. Imagine though, imagine if you're taking that movement, what would it be like if you had the support of water? How would the arms move? How does it challenge the balance? How does your body respond? So we're being curious. When we're being curious, we're being really present. And then from here, we're going to take a big step back, lift the chest. Right toes are out at a slight angle. Inhale, reach the crown of the head upwards. So legs staying quite lengthened here. And then exhale, fold forwards, pyramid. Left hips drawing back as you fold. You can stay up much higher here. You could have the hands to the ground or blocks. Forehead comes towards the left thigh. The left shin, sorry, not the thigh. Breathing here. Imagine breathing into the back of that left leg. Finding, creating space. Inhale. You might lift the chest slightly. You can soften into the legs. Take a big step back to plank. Flow through a vinyasa. Inhaling into upward dog or cobra. And exhaling back to a downward facing dog. Option for a child's pose here. If you wish to take it, check in with how you're feeling. What do you need? What is needed for you in this practice? Inhale, sweep the right leg up, find three-leg dog. Option to bend that top leg. And then we'll look between the hands, step the right foot through. And then spin down your back heel so the left heel comes down to meet the ground, and we'll open out, find right side warrior 2. Start to lengthen into the right front leg and inhale, reach forwards with the right fingertips. Then let the right arm drop down, left fingertips reach up, Trikonasana. Press the feet down and away into the ground. Option here with this left hand or arm. Again, can you take any floating movements? So connecting with the water element. How would it feel to imagine your left arms kind of floating through water here? Maybe it takes some kind of circular movements. Notice whatever you notice. See if you found something new in the pose today. These poses that we're always coming back to time and time again. But you can experience the pose in a million different ways. Lovely. On your next inhale, lift the chest, come back up. And then float the hands down to the mat to frame the front foot. Step it back. Option for another vinyasa, or you could come straight to meet in a downward dog or a child's pose. And we'll come to meet back in a downward facing dog. Reconnect with your breathing. Find your inhales and your exhales again. And then this time we'll inhale, sweep the left leg up, find your three-legged dog, option to bend the top leg. Look between the hands, step the left foot through and spin down your back heel so that we can open out into a warrior two. Lengthen into your front leg. Inhale, reach forwards with the left fingertips and start to let the left hand come down. Right fingertips reach up. Could have a block underneath your left hand here. Could be much higher up in your Trikonasana. An option with the right arm, the lifted arm, can you float? Doesn't have to look like mine, it could be tiny little ripples. Could be a full circle. Find something new. See if you can find something that you haven't found before in Trikonasana. And a great way of doing this is really feeling the movement. So notice what happens when you move even just one part of the body here. How do the sensations feel? What's alive? There's no right or wrong. You can't get that wrong. Lovely. Inhale, lift the chest, coming back up. And then floating the hands around, so that back heel might want to lift. Take a big step back to plank. And we'll inhale through into maybe a cobra or an upward dog. And exhale back to downward facing dog. From here, lift your heels away from the ground and start to step your feet in. And as you step your feet in, press the mat away with the hands. The legs can start to bend. If you've got to jump through, you can jump it through or walk your feet through. Bring your hips down to the mat. Soles of the feet can meet the ground, fingertips reach out in front. Start to lower your spine down. We'll meet in a lying position on the mat. Let the legs relax, let the arms relax. Start to close the eyes or soften your gaze. And from here, just take a little wiggle with the feet. So kind of shaking, rocking your feet from side to side. And notice the legs, the hips, notice the ripple effect of this movement. Maybe you can even feel up into the torso and other parts of the body moving. So notice how we're so interconnected. Connecting with the body as a whole ecosystem, a whole integrated system of being. Seeing if we can find a way to be with all of it. Relax the feet now. Maybe they're just opening out to the side. Palms of the hands could be facing upwards. Let your belly expand like a balloon, filling with air with your inhale. And let it soften and draw back in with the exhale. Allow the belly to expand again on the inhale, and then as you exhale, try and empty out every last bit of that breath without forcing. On your next inhale, draw the breath into the belly again. An option to hold the breath for a couple of moments at the top, only if that feels good to. And exhale, let the breath go. Let the ground receive you. Be held, be supported. How does that feel? Let the face and the jaw relax. Imagine any tension melting away from the face, the shoulders. Notice any sensations, whether that's in the hands and the fingers or anywhere else. And then gently starting to bring a little bit of movement back as we start to come away from Shavasana. Hug the knees perhaps into the chest, like you're curling up in a big ball. And then gently roll yourself over to one side. So draw the knees in towards the chest like you're curling yourself up into a big ball. And then roll yourself over to one side. Try and keep the eyes closed if you can. Pause here, take a breath, let the practice absorb. And then from here, start to bring yourself back to seated. Where we started the practice. Hands can rest, palms facing down on the knees or the thighs. Just trusting that you're exactly where you need to be right now. And slowly start to come back into the physical body. When you're ready, you can start to open the eyes, just taking a steady gaze. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here for this practice. I hope that you enjoyed it. Do feed back to me on how you got on with the flow. You can subscribe to this channel, it's completely free, and link below to other things that I offer. The practice, if thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you again really, really soon. Take care, bye bye.